Hello and welcome to Boise, capital of Idaho. We have the Boise State Broncos, 11-4, facing off against Utah State, 13-2, live from ExtraMile Arena in Boise, Idaho. Derek Clark along with former NCAA head coach Richie Schuler, and we have a great one for you in the Mountain West. They say that styles make fights. Utah State, the best offensive team in the league, and Boise State, the best defensive team in the league.
And how about this atmosphere? A sellout crowd, and why not? Two of the traditional powerhouses in the Mountain West over the last few years, and if Boise State can defend home court, it might be the biggest and the best win all season long for them so far.
And Utah State has not beaten this team in Boise since 2019. They'll do it behind their best player, Stephen Ashworth, leads the NCAA in three-point percentage at just under 17 a game off the bench. He'll have his hands full with Marcus Shaver, who is one of the best players in the Mountain West as well, fifth-year senior. Just about ready to tip things off here. As you can hear, this raucous crowd. 17,000, they packed out the whole entire gym.
This crowd is amazing. Boise State, last year's Mountain West champions, trying to defend that championship, and this game has all the marbles.
Initiating the offense with Rylan Jones, who was last year's assist leader for this team.
You're going to see Utah State. They're so good at moving the basketball. The best three-point shooting team in America, and it all starts with the way they move the ball. They share it, and they get a lot of ball reversals for good open looks.
Here's a drive to the basket by Shulga. In the corner. Jones, no good on the three, but they get the rebound. Shulga fires, no good.
Couldn't have started any better for Boise State. Utah State missing back-to-back threes. Now, you look at Boise State out there. Number 2, Tyson Degenhart.
And here's a great feed. And the finish by Najee Smith from Marcus Shaver.
They scored so quick, I couldn't even get my thought in. But Degenhart at 6'7", they're playing small ball, Boise State. They play with a very small lineup. Degenhart down inside the middle, undersized against all these trees for Utah State.
And that's a wild shot, no good by Bairstow on the miss. Marcus Shaver, the hero of last game against San Jose State. Here's Degenhart, tripping, falling, keeping his dribble somehow. Into the post, and he just missed a bunny.
Utah State, great three-point shooting team, but they play with pace. They like to push the basketball. As you see Rylan Jones just take it all by himself down the paint for the layup. That's what they'll do. If you try to take away the three, they're going to drive at you, or they'll throw it down inside the paint. If you try to take away the drive, they can knock down open shots.
Cannot stress this enough. Utah State is the best three-point shooting team in the Mountain West as Degenhart gets it to go inside. Degenhart, one of the best players from Spokane, Washington. And quickly the other way before we can even blink. They're scoring on the other end with Sean Bairstow.
Both these teams like to score at a high clip. And, you know, you're kind of moving your chess pieces here early on, trying to feel each other out, figuring out what that strike zone is for the officials. How's the other team going to play you? Do a great job so far.
Boise on the attack. Pump fake. Can't finish. And we want to welcome our new audience here in FS1. Utah State, Boise State. As Shulga's got it now for Jones. They reset. Wide open three. And that's not good defense from Boise State. That's what both of these head coaches, we talked to both before the game. You can't leave Utah State wide open from three. Just can't do it.
You can't do it. Utah State is the best three-point shooting team in America.
Utah State leads 7-6 early on. Here is Abo, wet on the jumper from 15 feet out.
This sellout crowd. We're just over 3 minutes into this game, and look at this score, 8-7, exactly what you thought it would be, a shootout between two terrific teams, two teams that traditionally have been powerhouses in the Mountain West in recent seasons.
Falk passes, Jones No good, but a foul. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Foul goes against Trevin Dory, a 7-footer. Take a look at Leon Rice, 13th season as Boise State head coach. He is already the winningest coach in BSU history. Of course, the reigning champion head coach of the Boise State Broncos. Also has a regular season title in 2015. And we were talking to him before the game. He was very relaxed. He believes in his team. He's a guy that's been around. You're not going to fool him with anything.
Well, he's been fantastic here at Boise State. 20-plus wins in 9 of the last 12 years, and already this season, at one point, they had a 9-game winning streak. He feels really confident about this group, although they've got some new starters from last year's regular season and tournament championship Boise State team. They've got some new bodies in there, but they're continuing the winning tradition here in Boise.
And Lucas Milner in for Smith, and Whiting in for Marcus Shaver early on as Rice goes to the bench. Jace Whiting, family of hoopers. His mom and dad both played. And now it's Degenhart, wide open, and he rattles it in. Tyson Degenhart. So both of these teams, Richie, are just giving up wide open jumpers early on. That's not going to be to the delight of any of these head coaches now, is it?
It isn't, but a quick response by Utah State. Here's the thing about it. Both these teams are doing a great job of sharing the basketball. And Utah State, a big reason why they knock down so many three-point shots, being the best in the country, is because they do such a good job of moving the ball. Take away the three, they'll drive. You take away the drive, they'll make a three. How about this?
Richie speaking it into existence. And we're going to have our first time out of the game as Max Rice, the son of the coach, has got this crowd on fire. Boise State leading this one 14-9, and here are today's keys to the game, sponsored by Lowe's.
Well, for Utah State, I think when they're playing a team like Boise State that's really good at getting to the basket, really good at knocking down three-point shots, Utah State has great length. They have to force Boise State into tough two-point shots, and Boise State playing against a team like Utah State, the best three-point shooting team in America, they have to get in the passing lanes, because by getting in the passing lanes, it takes away ball reversals, takes away the ball movement, and that's how the Aggies get their open three-point looks.
And here is Stephen Ashworth into the game for the first time, leading scorer in the Mountain West, and he's 5th in the entire NCAA in threes per game. So you want to know where he is at all times. And that shot is nearly blocked, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Look at the passion from Tyson Degenhart as he hits the floor.
So let me talk about Degenhart, because this is what he just did on defense. Look at him getting the exact right position. The offensive player is airborne, and he takes the hit. They started the game playing small ball. He was 6'7" in the middle. Since then, Lucas Milner came in number 25, played the middle, moved Degenhart to the perimeter. He's knocked down a three, and now he's gotten a charge as a result. They do a great job of mixing up their lineups, the Boise State Broncos.
Here's a post move by Milner, no good. Boise State had hit 4 of their last 4 until that point, and here is a hack and a foul. 30 feet away from the basket. It's going to go against Jace Whiting. Picks up foul number 1.
Well, I'm excited to see Stephen Ashworth. He just, got that foul called against Whiting. And Ashworth has gotten so much better every year. I remember his freshman year was a good player, 6 points per game. Sophomore year, about 8.5. This year, he's exploded. 17 points per game. A few rebounds, 4 or 5 assists. Does such a fantastic job leading this team, and Ashworth does it off the bench.
Watch out! Oh, and Aiken misses on the dunk. Rice will have it. Here's Abo back for Degenhart. Degenhart's had a great start to this game on both ends of the floor. Rice dumps down for Milner, and that is way too easy. 16-9, Boise State trying to run Utah off the floor early on. Aiken can't finish. Heavy traffic. Rice thought about it. Now he'll flip it in the corner. Abo, no good. Back and forth they go. This pace, Richie, has been just excellent.
It really is. It has been. It's a high possession game. They're doing a great job of getting the ball down to Akin. And he feels like 2 of the last 3 possessions to the basket, he feels like he's getting fouled and there's no call. So officials let them play a little physical.
Oh boy, bodies hitting the deck everywhere. As here comes Utah State with a 5-on-3 break.
Great pass.
Akin can't get it to go, and that might be a tackle.
I'm not sure how the officials missed that one, but the crowd is certainly not happy about it. There it is right here. So great pass by Ashworth down into Akin. Finally gets the foul he wanted. He's frustrated, and he taps the ball into the audience. Got away with that one.
I wonder who's more frustrated at that, Akin on the miss or the crowd for not getting a technical.
Look, he had a missed dunk. He thought he got fouled. 2 plays later, he went to the basket, thought he got fouled. Calls weren't called. Finally, the foul was called, and I think in his mind, he's kind of like, finally.
Akin at the line. 67% free throw shooter. And he misses the first one. Akin is one of Ryan Odom's favorite players, you could say. He brought him all the way over from London and then was his head coach at UMBC. And then after he transferred to Cal Baptist, still came back here to play for Ryan Odom. So let's see if he can get one at the line here. And he gets 1 of 2.
So Akin's going to come out of the game now. Trevor Dorius, I think he's going to sub in for him. I think that's a good move by Coach Ryan Odom. He knows Akin is a little bit hot right now. He's frustrated. Bringing another player, bigger, stronger guy down in the middle.
Here's Boise State. Shaver attacking. Guarded by Ashworth. Whiting, another corner 3 by Abo is no good. Contact after, no call. Utah State run the other way in a 16-10 hole. Attacking, Shoga for Jake Funk. Oh, he could have taken that jumper, didn't want it. He's instead going to attack and throw it down. And that pass is batted out of there. Good defense by Boise State.
They do rotation. I tell you, I think Utah State does a great job of moving without the basketball. Okay, you talk about all these trainers and whatnot. You always learn what to do with the ball in your hand. But really, in reality, even the point guards don't have the ball in their hand that much during the game. You have to know how to be a threat on the offensive end when you don't have the ball. And that's making proper cuts, reading the defense the right way, and then having the ball delivered to you in the right spot.
Another wide open 3. No good. Look at Shaver get the rebound. He's the best rebounding guard in the Mountain West at just over 6 a game.
Doing it against all these trees. Utah State is massive.
And attacking Abo. Lefty layup is good. Boise State is really trying to run them out of here. Hamoda no good. Bad start for Utah State. They've got to recover. Shaver. Nearly traveled. Pull up. Back rim no good by Abo. Rebound controlled by Utah State, and they're running. Here's Ashworth with it. Okey-doke. Maneuvers. Manipulates. And a great pass down for a slam dunk. Trevor Dorius on the finish.
The footwork on Dorius, I mean, that was dynamic. To have the presence of mind to know where the defense is, the patience to slow down and take the appropriate shot at the right time. Got himself a dunk.
Shaver trying to create a lot of contact, Trae Young style. Oh, what a no-look pass, but it's swatted out of there by Bairstow. And here comes Utah State. Idle Rock to the basket. Ran a man over and he's fouled. Crowd doesn't like it, but that's because they're all wearing blue and orange.
You're right about that, huh? Oh, good basketball by Utah State here, pushing the basketball. Great defensive stop. Hey, how about making our defense our offense and everybody running the floor for the Aggies?
(18-12) here. Boise State is leading early on with just under 12 minutes to go in the half. And take a look here at Tyson Degenhardt and what he's done.
He's so versatile. He does a great job. He started the game as the 5-man center in a 4-round-1 offense. Then they pushed him to the wing. He knocked down this 3-point shot. He took a charge on the other end of the floor shortly thereafter. Here it is right here. Bill takes the charge. Just love what you see in Tyson Degenhardt, the sophomore. He was the freshman of the year in the Mountain West a season ago. And he has so much basketball savvy. I really like his game, the vocal leader on this team.
Tyson Degenhart was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year last year. 4th most freshman starts in Boise State history, so tells you that the coach trusts him.
So a little confusion here.
Yeah. Don't know exactly what's going on, but we do know Idle Rock will be at the free throw line for one more.
So here's the story here. Utah State is 1 of 6 from 3. 1 of 6 for 17%. This is a team that leads the nation in three-point shooting at 43%. So a difficult start for the Aggies.
Confusion was about whether it was going to be an and one, and it is. Idle Rock at the free throw line, and he knocks it down. His teammate Dan Atkin was also on the same high school team. They both played in England at Barking Abbey and were both brought over by head coach Ryan Odom at UMBC. Pressure defense here by Utah State as they try to get more aggressive on the defensive end. Ashworth tries to fight around the screen.
And I feel like Ashford did a really good job getting over the top of that ball screen. If he goes under, three-point shot's going up.
Aggressive move by Hamoda, and he can't get it to go. 18-15. You feel like Boise State has dominated this game, but they're only up by 3. As there's going to be a foul on the ground. Najee Smith was attacking.
Najee Smith is just, he is a physical specimen. 6'7" strong. It's hard to post up in the middle of the paint. I mean, he got the ball from the top of the key down inside the paint. While he was in the lane, he was able to face up and make a move to the basket. Crafty footwork, good fundamentals, strength and athleticism all put together.
Here's Rice driving, and that's blocked from behind, but a foul. Idle Rock was the one who blocked it, but I'm not sure he's going to pick up the foul. Actually, they're going to say offensive foul. Wow.
Offensive foul. So watch Degenhart right here. He fakes like he's going right. Ashworth does a really good job of getting into the spot, taking the player control foul. And maybe that'll get Ashworth going. Ashworth, the leading scorer in this Utah State squad. Hasn't even taken a shot yet so far in this game.
Sean Bairstow, by the way, who has started all 15 games for Ryan Odom. He's on the bench with 2 fouls. May not see him for a while.
Boise State's going to pick up the pressure here. Full court man-to-man.
And then they call off the dogs, so no real issue breaking the press. Idle Rock will initiate. Here is Funk. Oh, he nearly traveled. Step back. No good. Hamoda fights for the rebound. Gets it back to Funk, and he runs over a man. And that's going to go the other way. That's his second.
How about it? It's 2 players for Utah State with 2 now. Here it is right here, Funk. And watch this rebound right here. Just barrels his shoulder into the defender right here. Boom.
Yep.
Freshman Kobe Young taking the charge, huh?
Both these teams fighting for supremacy early on. Here is Rice in the paint. Wild shot, no good. Oh, Hamoda hits a deck in the backcourt. Ashworth doesn't care.
Oh.
He's going to step back and miss a 3.
That was pretty, though.
One of the prettiest misses you'll ever see. Shaver, and he breaks off the defender.
And you saw what Shaver was going to do, didn't you? About to do that step back 3. He loves the step back 3. When they beat San Jose State at home just a game ago, he won it by 3 on a step back 3 on the wing.
Boise State, by the way, has one of their last 8. They're in a drought spanning 2.5 minutes. And Marcus Shaver, that step back is lethal, and Utah State knows all about it. Last year, Marcus Shaver was the one that drove the dagger into the coffin of Utah State in Logan with the step back 3. And here's going to be an offensive foul, illegal screen. And that's been an emphasis, and Leon Rice doesn't like that, but they emphasize that these big men must set their feet and not move at all.
He also extended his arm.
Yeah, that's a good call.
That's an easy call.
Ashworth, and oh my goodness. And you can just feel that this Boise State crowd is not happy with the way that this game has gone.
Oh, look right here. He picks his pocket, but there is contact.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's another good call by the official. Look, here's what's going on here. Utah State was preseason picked to finish 8th out of 11 teams in the Mountain West. And Boise State picked to finish 3rd after winning it last year. Utah State has something to say about that.
This can't happen if you're Boise, but he misses. Ashworth misses. Shaver fires, and he hits. And we have a player down on the other side of the floor. That looks like it is Rylan Jones. Slow to get up. And looks like he's okay. But how about Marcus Shaver with absolutely no conscience, as Ashworth missed on one end. And Shaver went down and said, hey, you can hit threes, well, I can do it just as well as you can.
Anything you can do, I can do better, right? He comes down and actually makes the three-point shot.
Ashworth is scoreless right now, and
well, he's only played 6 minutes. Ashworth comes off the bench as the leading scorer for Utah State, 17 a game.
And
what's funny is Utah State, 2 of their 3 top scorers come off the bench. I mean, they do a really good job. They have their lineup they like to start the game with, and they have a lot of firepower offensively that comes off the bench and kind of lights things up. And again, Utah State is really struggling to knock down the long ball. 1 of 8 right now, and it's still a fairly tight game.
So there was a foul on Kobe Young, and they're in the bonus. That's why Jones was marched all the way to the free throw line on the Boise State made basket. Don't see that very often. Shaver, oh, a great pocket pass to Smith. Can't finish but a foul.
That was on Trevin Gloria's second personal. Team foul, 7 on.
Well, they do a really good job with the pick and roll, don't they? And Shaver seems to do a really good job of threading the needle and putting that ball on a silver platter right where his teammates want it. That's knowing your personnel. That's knowing your teammates.
And first free throw, no good by Najee Smith.
I really like Smith for a lot of reasons. He's a great player. You know, it's hard to match his energy level. He's really good on the defensive end, gets about a block a game. But he's a player that really trusted the process. He was a junior college transfer. His junior year, he was basically waving the towel, 1 point a game. Last year, 5 points per game. Now he was in that extra 5th COVID year. And he's about 9.5 points per game.
Missed the free throw, but guess who's in there for an offensive rebound? It's Tyson Dagenhart again. He just seems to be doing all the little things here for Boise State. And he finds himself open, doesn't take the shot. Now he's going to get it on the repost. They double. Shaver has it, 4 in the shot clock. He's got a fire. Abo, and he knocks it down. Shot clock cheese. Excellent job by Boise State knowing where the shot clock was. As Shulga tries to respond, and it's no good. Ball bouncing everywhere on the backboard except for going in. Boise State is trying to run them out of the building. Dagenhart, and he hits it again.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Heavyweight punches being thrown by Boise State. Shulga in trouble, and he traveled. 8-0 run. Utah State has got to find a way to stop this momentum before things get out of hand.
Tyson Dagenhart comes in here.
Look at
makes
that.
a 3-point shot. But what I love about it, he comes down, he recognizes what the other team's going to do, and he calls out the other team's play. I love that. Not just an offensive player. Runs down the floor, gets on defense, tells his teammates the play call that they practice and shoot around.
And that right there is a play that drives defenders crazy.
Oh, I hate to see this for Ashworth.
And Ashworth had his face hit. Shaver was coming around. You see that a lot by guards in the NBA where they come around, they feel the defender behind them and draw the foul. But it looked like Shaver came up into his motion.
Well, here's a
here
little dribble handoff, a DHO. Shaver goes up and hits him on the lower side of the face.
Are they going to review this possibly for a shot to the face? It looks like that is indeed what they're going to do.
Let's see if we can get some clarification on that.
And Ashworth is down. His teammates were motioning for a review, and here's the play again. And
I don't think there was any ill intent on that shot.
He was just going into his motion and felt Ashworth behind him, and in my opinion, smartly took a shot, but unfortunate that Ashworth took a shot to the face. But
well, you know why he got hit in the face? Because he's playing good hard defense the way he's supposed to be.
Yep.
He's going over top of ball screens the way he's told to do it when guarding a player like Marcus Shaver. You can't go under a ball screen on a Marcus Shaver. You want to know why? He'll pop the three.
Sure will.
If you go over it, maybe he continues to drive, but then you have help there. He's too dangerous of a three-point shooter. Even though his numbers are down this year, he's been known to hit clutch shots, including the game winners we talked about just a moment ago.
Shaver at the line where he's 71% of the season, and that one can't knock it down. Shaver transferred from Portland after his sophomore year, and this is his third year with Boise State.
I remember him at Portland. He was his freshman and sophomore year. He was an all-conference player in the WCCs, competing there with players from Gonzaga, St. Mary's, BYU. He's a good player.
Knocks down 2 of 3. Utah State has not scored in just over 3.5 minutes. Here's the guy to do it. If you're Utah State, he fires a 3, can't get it to go. They are cold. Shaver, floater, no good. Smith can't get the rebound. Here comes Utah State on a mini break. Utah State has not lost when they've scored over 80. That's the number that Leon Rice is looking at. Oh, what a move by Hamoda. Can't get it to go. Didn't realize that he cooked the defender like that and found himself wide open. Wasn't expecting the shot. Rushed it a little bit. Here's Degenhart. Degenhart against Akin, fighting.
Wow.
And can't get it to go, but excellent post move. Just couldn't finish. And Hamoda's wide open on the wing. Shulga doesn't even look his way. He's still open in the corner. Ashworth. And it's nearly stolen, and they foul him. So it's another one of those where you like the aggressive defense, and they got to do something more than play a little bit more defense as they're down 28-15. We'll be right back. Well, Utah State is one of the best teams in the entire country when it comes to offensive efficiency, but Richie, as you noted earlier, they're shooting 27%. What is going on with Utah State?
Well, you can credit a lot of it to Boise State's defense. We keep talking about how great Utah State's offense is. Boise State's defense, they hold teams to under 60 points per game. And they have a plus 11 points per game on the season between their team and the other teams. Their defense is outstanding. They hold teams to 28% from the three. They just do a really good job of being in the passing lanes and not letting players drive. They're physical down inside. It's really impressive what Boise State has done to this fantastic offense in Utah State tonight.
Ashworth at the line, and he rolls in first of the 1-on-1. By the way, that last foul went against Shibuzo Abo, and that's foul number 3 for him. So one of their best players and their best shooter, 44%, is going to be gone for a while as well. And Ashworth misses free throw number 2. So you're going to see a lot of minutes here for Kobe Young, redshirt freshman guard. He's in there with Degenhart and Rice. Milner. As they swing it around, Rice attacks and it's stolen away. Utah State's got a 3-on-1. Shulga, Euro step. Can't get it to go, but Atkins on the follow.
And that's why you follow your shot. You know, young players, they play pickup ball. They don't even run past half court on fast breaks. In real organized basketball, you have to run. For reasons like that, you just got yourself a bucket. That could be the difference between a win and a loss.
Kobe Young. Just talked about him. Rattles in the jumper.
He's a freshman, and he's already knocking down consistent mid-range shots off the bounce. That's impressive.
True to his name.
He's young.
And he's Kobe. Here's a near steal. Atkins got it in the post. Nowhere to go. Shot clock winding down at 10. Shulga dumps it off to Akin. He goes to the basket. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled. And Richie, a lot of fouls here by both teams.
Well, yeah, it's a physical game. Watch this again. Another thread-the-needle pass in between two defenders. Both these teams do a really good job of ball screening and rolling. And when you do that, oftentimes the help side defender, in this case Boise State, had to come and help on Akin and the foul.
And he's back at the line, 1 of 2 from the line today. That slow release and in and out, no good. Free throw line can be a chore for a lot of these big men. We've seen both in college basketball and the NBA. We've seen some teams and some players really try to do anything they can to make their free throws. You've seen a couple of players switch hands. Tristan Thompson famously did that to try and see if he could knock down better free throws. So Akin's got a long release as a long three-pointer is knocked down by Rylan Jones, created, Richie, by the offensive rebound on a missed free throw. They get 4.
Best shot in basketball is the kick-out shot after a rebound. Offensive board. Rylan Jones transferred from Utah, now at Utah State. He's clutch now. Really impressed when I saw him play at Utah a couple years ago.
Oh, and Shaver, pass intended for Milner, couldn't get it there. And here's Utah State now. They're on a little bit of a momentum. Ashworth. Oh, Shulga fires, can't hit. Oh, Young behind the back on a fast break. Shaver looks off a defender, fires, and knocks it down. Big shot, Shaver.
He's special, man. Lightning quick. He's electric. Brings a different speed to this offense.
33-21. Post for Bairstow. A fadeaway and knocks it down. That's a beautiful shot right there. Quiets the crowd momentarily, but they're still down by 10. And Richie, we talked about styles making fights, and we thought that Utah State was the team that's going to come out and fire and hit a bunch of threes. But check this out. Boise State shooting 71% from beyond the arc. Foul called against Shulga. What's up with that?
With what?
Boise State being out of its mind from downtown.
Well, you know what? They got the home crowd behind them. And you know, if you... This crowd right here, Boise State, they love, I mean, any crowd. If you're showing that you're hustling, you're diving on the floor for loose balls, you're taking charges, you're getting the 50-50 balls, the crowd will get behind you. This crowd's helping them. And they're getting some great defensive stops. Best defensive team in the Mountain West. And they're converting on the other end. They have a lot of momentum right now. I think they're doing a really good job of attacking the size that Utah State has. They're huge.
Two free throws knocked down. The foul went against Akin. He picked up his first. Shulga goes to the basket, and he can't get it to go over the foul.
Team foul 10 on the Broncos. Now on the double ball.
Second foul on Milner. So number 30 is not on the roster. It's Najee Smith. He's changed his jersey. Maybe got some blood on it. Goes from number 23 to number 30. Couldn't figure out who that was on the floor.
The mystery is now solved. Oh. But look, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Boise State, you got a bit of a comfortable lead, but you can't get too comfortable when you're playing against a team that averages 80 a game. Utah State really struggling to score the basketball right now. I think they're going to make a run at some point in this game, whether it's here down the rest of the first half or in the second half. They are too good. They're too lethal. They got too great of shooters not to. So it's not like Boise State, by any stretch of the imagination, can rest at any given time. They're explosive.
Whiting has it now for Rice. Here's another post touch for Tyson Dagenhart, who's got 10 points to lead the Broncos in scoring. And he takes a little while now to get it around. They're moving it. 2 in the shot clock. Does Rice know it? He does. Can't get it to go. But what a tip by Kobe Young. Timed that perfectly. Jones tries to answer. In and out, no good. Attacking is Najee Smith.
This freshman Kobe Young, he's come in and made some plays right away, hasn't he? Made a mid-range shot.
Look at this.
Speaking of freshmen,
Jace winding right to the rim.
Boise State with 2 freshmen in the lineup right now. And they're looking good. Real good.
And Shoga, another NBA move. Draw foul, and that's how we'll take this next break. And Boise State, 39-25. They are attempting to run Utah right back to Logan. See if they can continue this after the break. Meanwhile, right here in Extra Mile, story of the game thus far is the Broncos have completely flipped the script on Utah State. They've been firing and firing away from downtown, and they've been hitting.
No doubt about that. We thought Utah State would be doing that. They're 2 of 13 from 3, but Boise State taken 7, made 5. Get this, 71% from 3 is the home team, but they're 53% from the field. It's fantastic the way they're scoring the basketball right now. This home crowd is incredible, is it not? What an advantage.
You called it, Richie. You said it was going to be a great environment, and I think it's living up to its name.
Did I lie?
You did not.
You trust me now.
Shoga at the free throw line, missed the first one. 83% on the year, and he missed 2.
Well,
that's not like him.
Yeah, I mean, the last one, he backed up off the line before the ball even hit the rim. It's a common mistake a lot of players make.
Shaver to come get it. Around a Degenhardt screen. Is in a little bit of trouble, guarded by Akin. Shot clock winding down, it's at 8. Rice is 35 feet away from the basket. He goes into his move, and he doesn't get that one to go. Rebound tipped and controlled in the hands of Akin, and now Shoga's got it. Leads the team in assists.
Now, if you're Utah State and you can get this down to single digits before halftime, you're feeling pretty good going to the locker room. That's a good move right there. Getting into the paint. If you get into the paint as an offensive basketball player, probably something good's going to happen. You're going to get a good shot off.
And Shoga just knocked down his first field goal of the game. Was 0-4 before that shot. Here's Degenhardt going to work in the post again. Ooh. And excellent defense by Akin. They're going to call Degenhardt for an offensive foul. It was good defense on Akin. I thought it was just a clean knockout. Let's take a look at it again. And that's not a foul. It's just a clean strip.
Oh, the crowd seems on the jump.
That's not a foul.
Well, that's going to give 2 fouls to Degenhardt.
So
Degenhardt now with his 2nd foul.
Yep. So that was great.
He wants an explanation.
Yep. It was great defense. It should have been ball out of bounds to Boise State. Take a look at the Mountain West Conference standings while we have a second. Nevada leading things right now, 4-0 in the conference. Look at all that competition at the top of the Mountain West, and we were talking about this a little bit. Mountain West is one of the best conferences in the country, ranked higher than other Power 5 conferences.
Yeah, they're 5th in the net rankings. That's better than the Pac-12. That's better than the ACC. I'm hearing anywhere from 2 to 4 teams out of the Mountain West could make it to the NCAA tournament. They've had multiple teams for a long time now.
Lob off the mark to Akin, and that's going to be an out of bounds. So all's well that ends well. They get the ball, don't lie, possession. Of course, Boise State last year won the league, got that automatic bid to the tournament where they did lose to number 9 Memphis. Leon Rice still looking for that elusive first March Madness win. Degenhardt pauses in the lane and scores.
And that takes maturity. Oh, how about this?
As Jones hits the floor. A lot of confusion here on what is going on with the referees. They're doing a lot of talking. They called Shaver in the backcourt for a foul.
Foul is on Marcus Shaver, second person.
That's his second.
You're right. A lot of fouls being called in this game. This game is what you call a slobber knocker.
Sure is.
Physical game between two teams.
Slobber knocker, huh?
Slobber knocker.
It's the first time I've heard that word. I think I'm going to use it in the next broadcast.
Only if it is a slobber knocker.
Jones can't hit the free throw. And Utah State is really struggling from the line. Just not characteristic basketball they're playing right now. And I can guarantee you Ryan Odom's going to have a few choice words for Utah State going into the locker room.
Well, you know, they're getting some good looks off. They're just not knocking them down. I mean, honestly, they're getting some great looks.
They are also turning the Broncos over a lot. Broncos 4 turnovers, but they haven't been able to convert them into points. Here is Shulga probing. Long time in the key. No action going on. Here's Akin to set a screen. Jones goes the other way around the screen. Hesitates, float in the lane, leads it back, rim roll, doesn't get it. Jace Whiting yanks it down. 41-28 now as we come up to the end of the first half. They'll have one more possession. Let's see how they play it. Oh, Whiting wanted to go to Degenhart. Whiting. For Najee Smith. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Degenhart, and again from the post. He's playing that small ball 5. Pounding his way in, and this time Atkins called for a foul.
Well, that's going to give Akin his 3rd foul.
Team foul 10 on the Aggies.
I like how so good Degenhart at backing down. And you don't know if he's going to come and face you up or post you up with his back to the basket. Should be 3 fouls now at number 30, Akin.
Nevertheless, it'll be Degenhart at the line, and we'll try to clear up exactly how many fouls he has, because he is one of the most important players on the team. And they're going to bring in the 7-footer, Trayvon Dorius, to play defense for these last 38.4 seconds. Boise State holding a 41-28 advantage. Degenhart back at the free throw line, and he knocks down the second. Here comes Milner in to replace Degenhart.
So Utah State is really missing some big buckets that they traditionally get from Stephen Ashworth. He's having a rough game, but he's not the only one. There's a lot of players in this Utah State squad that's getting locked up by the defense of Boise State. You can't buy a three-pointer.
And give Shulga credit. He's tried to get more aggressive and try to take over the game as he goes right to the basket and scores.
And he used his body beautifully. Now, Boise State, 15 seconds. You take the final shot. Don't give Utah State an opportunity to knock down a 3 at the buzzer.
Shaver is not on the floor. It'll be Whiting. 6 seconds. Max Rice fires a 30-footer and knocks it down. And that punctuates an excentuous half by Boise State as they have now ran their lead up 45-30.
Look how deep this three-pointer was. It's a 25-footer from behind the arc. And now you have a team in Boise State at home who's been outstanding on offense and really darn good on the defensive end here in the first half.
So Boise State attempting to finish off Utah State right here in ExtraMile Arena. 45-30. Boise State leads this one, Richie. And what did you think overall of the first half of basketball that we just saw?
This crowd is amazing. You know what? And Boise State is +7 on rebounds as a result. They're doing a great job of feeding off this crowd, and their defense is becoming offense. They've held Utah State to 35% from the field, only 15% from behind the arc. I mean, that's the makings of a championship team. And as we talked about, Boise State's coming off a championship just a year ago.
And Utah, who is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the entire Mountain West, they have struggled massively from beyond the arc. And what do you think that Coach Odom is saying to his squad right now in halftime as they work to get out of this deficit?
I think he's saying right now, we got to keep an eye on Tyson Degenhart. Has he not been terrific or what? Tyson Degenhart has been outstanding. 13 points on 5 of 8 field goals is Degenhart. He started the game in the middle as the 6'7" undersized 5-man. did some work down inside, even off offensive boards like that, but he knocked down a pair of three-point shots. He even took a charge at one point in this game. Here it is right here, actually. Did a great job. So he showed that he can play in the paint. He showed that he can play on the perimeter. Even got himself 4 rebounds for his teammates in this game. So this was an outstanding performance from Tyson Degenhart. And as a team, Boise State is 6 of 8 from behind the arc.
That'll do it for us here. We will see you in the second half. 45-30 Boise State leads. Back with you here in ExtraMile Arena as we take a look at some of the first half stats, and what jumps off the page immediately is the three-point differential.
Three-point differential, even look at the free throws. I mean, the whole thing, all the shooting.
Yeah.
Boise State is so much better, and they're out-rebounding, and because they're out-rebounding, they're getting fast break points on the other end of the floor.
And Richie, we've talked about this till we're both blue in the face. These two teams, of course, best in the Mountain West, Utah State in offense, best in the Mountain West in defense. Is Degenhart, what a pirouette as he goes right to the basket. And it's the Broncos defense that is winning the hour of the day. They have held their opponents to less than 60 points 8 times this year, and their defense is ranked top 15 in the country. That was from Ken Pong. And look at this, more defense by the Broncos. As Shaver gets a steal. So not a good start for Utah State coming out of the break. Well, they do get a steal there. As a wild drive to the basket. Raked away and stolen. Taylor Funk's got it.
This Boise State's defense is doing a number on Utah State. Utah State has to find a way to push through this aggressive defense. They're not really turning the ball over much, but they're so much more physical. Oh my, the physicality.
And did you see that pass from Schulden?
Yeah, I did. He's impressive. He's got great instincts. He understands the game.
Leads the team in assists at 4.4 game, and that was a nice one right there. Here's that post up by Degenhart. Oh, Rice is wide open. Pump fake. Step back check, and he rattles it in. Max Rice making his daddy proud. Shoga wants a screen. Will he use it? No. He'll dance, he'll move, he'll spin, he'll fire for Jones. Hesitates, goes to the basket. Back out for Shoga. Wide open three. Back rim, no good. And if Utah State can't make that, they are not going to get back in this game. Here's a post up, and Jones tried to jump it. And here is a rim rocker by Najee Smith. Changed his number, but it doesn't matter. The results are still the same. Funk to Jones, pump fakes. Little floater, can't get it to go. They just cannot find the bottom of the basket.
I tell you, Utah State's getting really good looks. They're getting outside threes. Right there by Ryland Jones, that's an uncharacteristic miss from that spot.
And look at the ball movement by Boise State as Shaver fires, can't get it to go, but great ball movement. And Richie, what about the early shoot-around for Utah State? We came in here to watch them shoot at 9 a.m. and it was talked about that them staying around here for the long shootout was determinant, and they're undefeated when they do that, but it's not happening right now. And a great defensive play. Excellent defensive play. The crowd is not going to like it, but he absolutely guessed right. An excellent charge taken to the chest. Look at this.
Look at Ryland Jones. Man, yeah, were his feet down? No. But was there physical contact into his chest? Yes. And I hope the young man is okay.
And he looks like he may have blood on his lips.
Well, let's let the athletic trainers work with this.
And Richie, these plays are so hard to judge in real time. And we have refs here that have been to the Final Four, but those blocks and those charges are some of the hardest ones to call. You did mention he did not have his feet set, but he did appear to guess right. And he paid for it right now as they're attending to him on the ground. Ryland Jones, 6 points, 2 rebounds, but his impact for Utah State is bar none, even though it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And
well, let's just hope this young man is okay. Ryland Jones, and the official giving Leon Rice an explanation. But this Ryland Jones young man, he's one of my favorite players out here in the West.
Transfer from the other Utah, played for the Utes. After his sophomore season, he was the 4th player in Utah history, recorded a triple-double his freshman year, and right now he is in some serious pain on the ground. Saw that blood to his jaw.
Well, you know, while this is going on, as the athletic trainers tend to this, you know, I like what we're doing here. Both teams huddling up with their squad. I think Boise State, you see Leon Rice talking to Dave Hall, the official, trying to get a little bit more explanation on that play. But, you know, you have to be just prepared. I mean, at this point in time, this is an opportunity for both teams to regroup, especially for Utah State. They're down big against this hot Boise State team whose defense right now is nothing short of incredible. I mean, the Broncos' defense is hard-nosed, it's tough, it's physical, and it's bothering Utah State. Utah State has to find ways to score against this pressure defense, this physical defense that Boise State's employing, whether that's having some you know, different ways to score down inside the paint, having some pressure releases to try to get the ball more closer to the basket. They're getting great looks. They're not just dropping. They have to find other ways to score as a result.
Boise State has dominated this matchup as of late. They've won the last 4 straight games against Utah State, and in their building they are impeccable. And Utah State, we thought about what was Odom going to say to his team at halftime, and in a serious change of events, it's the Broncos who came out with their foot on the pedal when they're already up by 20. So you don't want to see that if you're Utah State.
You want to strike first at the beginning of every half because it kind of sets the tone for the next several minutes. And Boise State sure has won that battle. And both halves, they came out firing in the beginning of the game. They came out firing here at the start of the second half. And now with the 20-point lead, Boise State has to be able to play with that lead. They have to continue that lead. Utah State, I don't think they've been in a position like this their entire season. They only have 2 losses.
Yep.
Utah State's 13-2. Combined 6 points between those 2 losses. This is uncharted territory for the Aggies this season.
And in every matchup that they have played in their history against Boise State, they have only lost by double digits 1 time. So this is definitely not a characteristic game of this rivalry, and
it's good news right here.
Yep. Jones is going to be.
I love with this player, the sacrifices he makes for his team, night in and night out, and he's done it for his entire career. His dad played at Utah for a couple of years back in the mid-90s. His mother was a swimmer at Utah. Ryland was a player at Utah for a pair of years, even had a triple-double in 1 game against Mississippi Valley State, and now transferred to Utah State a year ago and has done a terrific job for Ryland Jones.
And Jones motioned to his chest that he's having some trouble breathing, just trying to catch his breath. He's just trying to get his wits about him. Didn't get hit in the head.
Have prayers up for this young man. Thoughts and prayers. All focus and attention on this young man, making sure he's okay before play resumes.
And he'll finally get up to his feet. Seemed a little bit dazed and favoring one of his legs, but he's able to walk off the floor.
That's a great sign.
Ryland Jones has played in 12 games of the 16, including this one for Utah State. Started 9 of them, 19.9 minutes a game. Averages just 4 points, but 3 assists. But as we mentioned multiple times, Richie, his impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. And head coaches love guys like that will get in the mud and get on the floor, take charges, sacrifice their body. So hopefully he's able to be good going forward. Meanwhile, Utah State's got a lot of work to do. They are down by 20. They've got to make something happen at some point. It's going to be Bairstow to the rim. Goes one-on-one scores.
That looked a little too easy, you know. So Utah State needs a spark.
By the way, sometimes those injury timeouts can be a spark for the other team. It can slow down the team that's attacking. Speaking of attacking, there was Degenhart for the basket. He can't score. And the ball is knocked out, recovered by Rice. And they'll reset the offense. Good active hands by the Broncos. Whiting's got it now. Dancing, goes right to the basket and flips layup up, no good. The rebound tapped back, and Rice, can he control it in the sideline? Yes, he can.
Second offensive rebound on this possession. We talk so much about Utah State's ball movement. And I've been really impressed with the way the Broncos of Boise State has done that in this game.
Degenhart double team, out to Rice. Rice pump fakes, and a tough three by Rice. That's not a great shot, but Utah State will have it. Here's Hamoda now. Hamoda's been very, very quiet. Has not scored. He's going to try to score here, doing it himself. A lot of time in the key. And the bank shot is long. Chase Whiting now will run the point guard. He'll freeze. He'll fire to Najee Smith. Smith turns and he changes mind in midair. And he gets it to Degenhart, who flips it up and in over his head.
Was that a pass?
It'll go down as one. If you ask him, he'll say, I meant to do that.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, no, and here's a steal. Just a fumbling of the basketball. Unforced error. Utah State feeding into the hands of the Broncos.
Well, I like what we got here. Look at the footwork. But you know what? I'm not going to shoot it. I'll just pass down to Degenhart, who's manning the paint down inside.
Well, coming in, you thought this game was going to be a little bit more competitive than it's actually turned out to be. Utah State has only had the lead for about as much time as it takes to sneeze a couple times, 18 seconds. Boise State has dominated time of possession. They have out-rebounded their opponent 28-18, and they have outshot their opponent. Richie, sometimes it comes down to just what team is going to make more shots at a more efficient level, and that's what is happening right now. We can dress it up however we want to, but Boise State's making more than the other team is.
I've got a better question for you. It takes you 18 seconds to sneeze?
Well, I was going to say sneeze once, but I had to say sneeze twice.
Okay, it takes you 9 seconds to sneeze?
Hey, man, I got allergies.
Yeah, all right.
You know, sometimes those sneezes, they just kind of linger around. And
one of those guys. All right.
It takes a while to get out.
Sneezes over and over, yeah. I got you.
Boise State trying to win back-to-back Mountain West championships. They're doing a good job here defending one of the best teams in the league, as Ashworth, who has been cold all day today.
Gosh, I hate that for him. He's 0 for 4 from the field. He had one point. Yeah, he's a 17-point game player.
Here's Boise State with the attacking Abo. Abo doing it himself. Oh, what a move. Fade away, can't get it to go. Tip. They're out hustling Utah State. They're just simply out hustling Utah State. Another offensive rebound. Oh, Whiting. For Rice. A lot of dribbling by Rice. Gets a shot he wants. Oh, what an okey-doke by Max Rice. Straight out of Cold Stone. Just scooping it in.
Coach's son has all the moves.
His brother kid also plays for the team.
Red shirt this year.
Yeah.
Coach Leon Rice says he can still take it to him.
And if this game keeps going the way it's going, we might see the younger brother in the game as well. 6-0 run for Boise State, and no one wants the rebound. And now it falls in Utah State's hands. What can Utah State do to generate some offense here? It's going to be Funk who fires a long 30-footer, and that is all.
I think in the first half, they were missing shots. They were just missing. Now here in the second half, it seems like they have zero confidence while they attempt the shots. And, of course, they're missing again. They seem all out of sorts. It's just one of those nights.
Yep. It just may be the perfect storm of the Broncos playing the perfect defense and Utah State just playing the worst offense.
That's what it appears to be.
Yep. It happens as Abo goes a lot of time in the key. Does have 1 foot outside the key. Settles for a fadeaway jumper. That's no good. And here is Akin back into the game. Oh, a great pass to Akin. Komoda created that one.
Yeah, officials. What the crowd's reacting to right now is just the energy and frustration from Dan Akin. We saw frustration from him in the first half as well. He's showing some of it again. And he's trying to, he needs to channel that energy onto both ends of the floor. Just continuing to try to help his team chip away at this point in time.
And a bad play by Abo. He just simply lost the ball.
We called this earlier. The scooper, the okadoke. Leon Rice's son, Max Rice, in his senior year, the up and under. You know, it's one of those backyard shots.
You can tell a lot of these guys spend time watching and one mixtapes on YouTube. Abo picks up his 4th foul on the loose ball foul after he lost it. Insult to injury.
I mean, the basketball is being sideline inbound in three-quarter court, and Boise State is up in them denying the pass, trying to frustrate and make it as difficult as possible. You want to guard other players the way you hate to be guarded.
And
nice Milner.
Ashworth just got blocked at the rim. They get the rebound. Shulga for Funk.
There you go.
Trying to get out of the funk.
There you go. Hey.
Utah State is in.
Funk is top 5 in the Mountain West in three-point percentage. Yep. Only had 3 points at the half, though. But that dude's got some range. I mean, he can hit from the logo there in their home arena at Utah State.
And there's a double. And losing the ball is Smith. Here's Whiting to basket. What a pass. And the finish by Lucas Milner. And Boise State's trying to get the party started early. Winter break is ending, and they're trying to give their students something to celebrate.
It's 2 in a row for Funk.
And Funk knocks another one down.
All right, Utah State not out of this. Long way to go, but they finally found somebody with a hot hand.
That's his 3rd triple of the game. Trying to do it himself is Najee Smith. Turns. No good. Here's a rebound, Milner. Fires that for Whiting. Shuffled his feet a little bit, no call. And Chase Whiting, the son of 2 former players.
7 offensive rebounds for Boise State are getting them second chance threes. And they're backbreakers for Utah State.
And Boise State's got it again. Shaver behind the back. Oh, that's a lot of sauce, but he can't finish. Here's Shulga, patiently moving. He's cut off. Here's Idlerock, fakes a 3. Shulga wide open. And they finally get a 3-pointer to go.
You see here, it's seeing some signs of life now. That's 4 possessions. 3 of them, they've made 3-point shots.
But here's the problem, Richie.
Yep.
It's 63-45 with 10 minutes and 14 seconds to go.
I mean, you're right.
Running out of time here.
Well, got to tighten up their defense a little bit.
Back in a few, Utah State trying to crawl their way back into this game. 63-45 here as Utah State shot 2 of 13 in the first half, but they are shooting the ball much better in the second half. They've knocked down 3 of 5. And Funk has been the orchestrator of the stroke from beyond the arc in the second half, and they've got to find it somewhere. And he's doing a good job in the second half.
How well they move the basketball in Utah State, and it's a work of art. It looks beautiful when they're knocking down the outside shots. Most of this game, they've done a really good job of moving the ball. They're getting the open looks. They're just not falling, so we don't have a whole lot of replays to show you. But when they knock down those open looks, man, it is a work of art on the basketball court for Ryan Odom and his squad. Hey, every dog has its day.
And if you're Utah State, the time to get back into this game is right now. Time is not on their side. 20-point deficits are not as easy to come for, especially if you give up wide open dunks to Kobe Young or young Kobe. I don't know which one he is.
What a beautiful ATO after timeout play.
Here is Ashworth. Oh, that's a great pass to Idlerock. He chooses to decline the 3. Great extra pass. Here's Ashworth. Can he get going? Yes, he can. And that may be the start of something for Ashworth. And Richie, you and I know this. It only takes one for a shooter like him. Watch out.
Correct. Three-point shot being the great equalizer. If you can get Ashworth hot and you can continue to get Funk knocking down some shots and some others, things are going to be okay. Utah State, they got to tighten up their defense. Got to be a little bit more physical. Utah State, or Boise State, seems a little too easy for them scoring around the basket and getting offensive rebounds.
3 in the corner by Kobe Young, no good. But good active defense by Utah State, scrambling to the basketball. You can tell they wanted a steal right there on that defensive possession. Didn't get it, but they'll have the basketball. Down 65-48. There's a nice pass. Down low to Dorius, who finishes.
Oh, there is a heartbeat. Utah State.
But it exists. 65-50. 8:55 to go in the game. They've made 3 of their last 3 field goals from the floor. And we also know, Richie, that sometimes if you start hitting up offensively, it can fuel your defense. Makes you feel a little bit psychologically better. And here they go again. This may be trouble. And it's going to be a holding foul, or will it be an off-ball foul? Ashworth was attacking. Shaver picks up foul number 4. So we'll take a short break here. Shaver's got 4 fouls. Utah State on a bit of a run here as they try and maintain their heartbeat here at ExtraMile Arena. See if they can cut into this deficit and take a look at some foul issues for Abo and Shaver, both with 4. But Richie, it hasn't really hurt them. And Boise State is winning despite 2 of their best players in foul trouble, and winning convincingly.
Yeah, those 2 guys have, looks like 14 points combined, and Boise State is just dominating the boards. Okay, 10-plus on the rebounds. They have 7 offensive rebounds. You know what that's led to? 7 offensive boards have led to 11 second-chance points, and some of those are 3-point shots. You get the offensive rebound, the defense isn't set, and you throw it out, kick it out to an open teammate along the perimeter, waiting for the 3-point shot at the top of the key.
And it's going to be out. Hamona just couldn't corral it, and that could be a big missed opportunity there for Utah State. They need all they can get. They'd have made that one, would have made a 13-point game. Would have been interesting. So let's see if they can get a stop here on the Broncos. Haven't done it all night. Rice to come get it. Pounded by Heidelrock. And good defense by Utah State here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Smith looking for a post, forces to Degenhardt. And Degenhardt is swatted, but he gets it right back.
It's about extra efforts. And Degenhardt has been terrific.
He is on his way to a double-double.
19 points, but, you know, he got blocked. But that second effort, he got the shot. He didn't give up on the play. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 efforts.
Another turnover by Utah State.
Timeout on the floor.
I love the hustle, the tenacity. Imposing his will as Tyson Degenhardt gets a shot blocked, goes right back up with it, doesn't give up in a play. It's all Boise State tonight.
Utah State threw a little bit of a punch there, but Boise State seems to have them at arm's length. Take a look at some of the scores around the Mountain West as see Nevada there against San Jose State. Fresno State losing to Colorado State. These are all blowouts except for the San Diego State-Wyoming game. And then you've got UNLV at number 21, New Mexico later tonight. And Wyoming, as you mentioned, Richie, what's going on with them? They were picked to finish. What were they picked to finish? Second.
They're 0-3 right now in the Mountain West. Tells you the strength of the league. Really impressed with what Steve Alford's doing at Nevada, though. They're 14-3 now. They're undefeated in first place in the Mountain West. Steve Alford has done a terrific job of getting that program back where they were just a few years ago. And that's really been the story of the year, I think, in the Mountain West so far.
Ashworth harassing Jace Whiting, trying to get a foul, or trying to get a steal, and takes a foul instead. That's his second. Broncos will take it out of bounds, and Whiting will battle with Ashworth all over again. Whiting, good defense in the corner. They got to do something with this. Shot clock at 10. Back in the corner. A lot of traffic in the corner. Now it's for Degenhart. Wide open, but it's smacked out of there. A great recovery blocked by Dorius. And here comes Utah State the other way. Tripping and falling is Hamoda. Trying to recover. Ashworth turning the corner. Great pass to Dorius. Up fakes twice and forces way in. And good defense by Boise State. They're just rushing everything. Not in character as Utah State.
Remember what the great John Wooden used to say?
Yeah.
Be quick, but not in a hurry. Well, right now, they're rushing because they're down big with under 7 to go.
Degenhart's got it again. Working on a double-double. Is 1 rebound away. Driving is Rice. Now pulls it back out for Whiting. Whiting just up on his feet. Takes off the basket. Dangerous pass, and it's blocked. Wild sequence. Here's an outlet. Here's Funk going to the rim. And a touchdown on the other end as he slams it down. As the Hail Mary pass was thrown down for an easy score. Great awareness by Utah State getting it down to the runner.
What was the old quote by Shaq? Don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. What about Taylor Funk flushing it home? You don't like that one? You don't remember that? You're too young. You're too young.
No, I was
too young.
I've been watching this team play a few times, and I was trying not to use the cliche "fake the funk." The announcers have worn that very thing.
On a nasty dunk, though.
Well, here is Whiting, fires from way out of there and knocks it down from Boise International Airport. Hamoda driving to silence the crowd. He does, but not in the made basket. And how far away was this three-pointer?
He's a freshman. He's a freshman. The story goes, out of high school, he went on a 2-year mission to Finland. And only 1 day per week did he have an opportunity where he could go find a basketball court, go find a blacktop to go get some shots up. You know, finding that blacktop in Finland for 2 years may have contributed to these deep three-point shots he's shooting.
Yeah, his mother, Amber, was just hired as a new coach of BYU women's basketball. Parents, of course, both played at BYU, and they met each other in high school as there's a steal as Utah State's going the other way. It's idle rock to the rim, and he scores. But, you know, Jace Whiting is a guy with a boatload of potential. He's got an entire basketball family tree sitting in his house. And his sister, his younger sister, a great high school player, she's going to go play for his mother at BYU.
She originally committed to Oregon. She decommitted when her mother got the job at BYU. Unfortunately, she tore her ACL this year. And my understanding now, from what I understand, she's already enrolled at BYU as an early high school graduate. I hope I'm right on that. Good source, that's what they told me.
Here's Degenhart in another post move, and this time Funk gets the better of that one. Utah State has made 5 of their last 7 shots, but they can't seem to crawl their way back into the game as Rice wants to talk things over. With 4:54 in the game, Boise State leading this 70-54, and we'll keep it right here as
So Coach Leon Rice burns this timeout.
Yep. Why did he do that?
Well, he wants to talk to his team about finishing this game. And Utah State is starting to make a little bit of a run, right? It's been 15-20 for the last several minutes, but he doesn't want to. Utah State's the kind of team that can get hot real quick. So he just wants to give them reminders. As you get physically tired, you get mentally tired. He wants to make sure his players are fully aware of all the details that they need to discuss to keep Utah State at bay.
And by the way, look at that schedule. They've got 2 games on the road coming up. The game against UNLV, that's no easy task. And even though Wyoming has been slow, they got to go play at Wyoming. That's not going to be easy either. So this is an important win for Boise State to get and sort of get back on the right path. They're 1-1 in conference. Arguably should have been 2-0. Dropped a bad game versus the aforementioned Nevada. Shavers back in with 4 fouls.
Nevada's pretty good now.
Yeah, they are. Nice turnaround. What hang time on that jumper by Najee Smith. Seemed like he was up there forever. Excellent shot clock awareness to get the shot up before the shot clock expired. Pull up 3, Hamoda, and back from no good. And quick shot, but Richie, we're 72-54 here. As take a look at this turn and fade.
Najee Smith just got springs for legs. He's had some good games. You talked about the Nevada games, a tough loss for Boise State.
Yep.
Down the stretch, but he had 20 points in that game. 5 boards to go along with it. And they always talk about how Najee Smith, he's wearing number 30 for Boise State, how he plays and carries himself with just a lot of joy. He's overcome a lot in his life. And he just comes out here and just loves to play the game, loves to play for Leon Rice and the Boise State Broncos in front of this great crowd.
Here's a post up by Abo, and he loses the ball. Rice tries to save it back to Abo. Abo has a 3, and he rattles it in. And it's just been that kind of night for Boise State. Even when it goes wrong, it still goes right. Ashworth playing with the basketball and just misses a layup. Microcosm of the game for Utah State. Just not their night. That may be what it comes down to. Boise State with their largest lead of the game, up 21 points with 3:47 to go. And if you're both coaches here, you may want to think about getting the reserves into the game, as we have a little bit of a kerfluffle here.
A lot of emotions in here, right? Now, Boise
Many
State
teams come together. We'll be right back.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
So right before the break there was a little bit of a coming together of both of those teams. Take a look at what happened here. As Abo just talking, and Funk didn't like something he said and had something to say back to him. And apparently,
just emotions.
Yeah, this trended from a couple of plays ago when Abo apparently hit the 3 in Funk's face. He held up a 3 in his face, if to say, let him know he knocked it down right in front of him. So both of those players, it appears, are going to be assessed double technicals.
So they're going to go back to the point of interruption to inbound the basketball, I believe.
And Richie, that's one of those things where Utah State, they're getting beat down pretty bad. And when you're not playing the way that you know you're capable of playing, and when things are just simply not going right, when you have balls bounce in the wrong direction to you, even on the plays where you are out hustling, that can happen here as you start getting irritated by some of the little things that in a normal game just rub off your shoulder. And I think that was what was happening there with Jake Funk. One team celebrating a little bit too much for the other team's liking. And I guarantee you, they'll remember this back in Logan.
Yeah, they'll be going back there soon. Hey, Coach Ryan Odom in the huddle here. He's an outstanding basketball coach. And when that scuffle was happening or whatever was going on there, he ran over there and told his players to get out of the huddle and get to the bench. Now he calms them down. He has time to talk over everything. This is an opportunity to teach his players how to deal with this when there's this kind of adversity. They haven't been in a game like this all year. They've won 13 of their 15 games. The 2 losses were a combined 6 points. They haven't been in this position. So this is a learning game for Utah State. They're going to make the last stance at trying to come back and win this basketball game. They're going to fight and claw to the end, but they're going to do it with class. And that's how Utah State's teams have always been under every coach I've ever seen, but certainly under Coach Ryan Odom. We're going to see Boise State's going to do everything they can to close this thing out, and Abo's getting an explanation from the official as to why he got a technical foul. So everybody learns.
Yeah.
These are young men.
Yeah, they're just going to assess those 2 technical fouls, and because in college basketball, technical fouls are counted as personal fouls, he's going to be paying for that scuffle, and he'll have to go to the bench. He's fouled out of the game. For Utah State, to state the obvious, things looking bleak. 75-54. You wonder when the white flags are going to be raised by Ryan Odom. Odom in his 2nd season coaching this team is 31-18 overall as head coach of Utah State, but he's going to have another L in this column tonight as Rice fights for Degenhardt. And now, if you're Boise State, you just want to use some clock here as Shaver goes one-on-one, using the off arm to clear out, and that's probably going to go on Ashworth, even though Shaver was using that chicken wing. That's his 3rd.
So not a shooting foul.
Nope.
It's only 3 fouls, I think. Yeah, 3 fouls on
Remember
Utah
the first
State.
half, Richie, where it was all those fouls and the refs were coming over explaining to us why there were so
23
many
fouls
Yeah.
together in the first half. Yeah,
Yep.
there's 9 in this half.
Yep.
11, excuse me.
Here's Shaver trying to put the finishing touches. What a backdoor pass. And he gets on the trampoline. And explanation point. For Najee Smith.
I misspoke a moment ago. There's actually 6 fouls on Utah State.
And now we have an actual fight between Akin and Max Rice. As they both were ready to get in each other's faces. And now the Boise State crowd is going to get themselves involved in this game.
And
Let their voices be heard.
Yeah, Leon Rice not happy. He's talking to a couple of officials. He certainly wants safety. Everything should be about safety in this game. Obviously, this game is all but decided. We don't need anybody to get injured. Nothing silly to happen. Nobody needs to get suspended. Watch what happens here. There's a screen there. Okay, so Max Rice is coming off defensively off an Akin screen. And there's a little bit of offense taken, it appears. We'd have to watch that a few more times over to get a better feel. But
again,
just a lot of emotions
yes,
right now.
that again, little things. He's trying to fight his way through the screen, a little bit of extra hands, and both players trying to stand their ground.
So this is at least the 3rd time that I've seen Dan Akin show some emotion. The first half we saw it, now twice here in the second half.
Referee's explaining.
Okay, we heard it there.
Yep.
Technical foul.
So
Technical fouls have been issued on Max Rice. That will be his 3rd.
Max Rice is going to get a technical foul. And then I believe there was a double foul called on the 2 players that came together. And one of those players, Akin. So referees will sort all of this out. Crowd was cheering as if Akin got thrown out of the game. I think they were a little ahead of themselves.
Akin is a very emotional player.
Yeah. So they'll remain. Both players will remain on the floor. They did not give them technical fouls. Interesting. Shoga back for Funk. That's his range. He fires and he hits.
He's got some serious range.
Yep.
3-point field goal, Taylor Buck.
He can shoot it really deep. You're down 20. At some point, Utah State's going to have to pick up full court pressure to have any chance of turning the ball over. See, right now, Boise State's going to dribble the clock out. So if you truly want to try to make a comeback, you got to apply some pressure, force some turnovers, because the clock is just ticking away right now.
These 2 teams do not like each other. Here's Shaver, pull up 3. Nearly put the icing on the cake for that one, and now they're just going to boo him every time they come down the floor. Oh, here's Funk losing the basketball. Crowd's enjoying that. Gets it to Akin, another player they don't like right now.
Boom every time he touches the ball.
Funk, they wanted to travel on Funk. They just want anything. Oh, Shoga, nice jab step move. Down for Akin, and offensive foul on Shoga. It's gone from bad to ugly here for Utah State. And really now, if you're head coach,
it's a great take.
Odom, you really have to think about this game's over. Get your reserves in there. We don't need any more extracurricular activity. It's a 20-point game, 217. I've seen some crazy comebacks recently, but none will be as crazy as that. Boise State trying to just dribble the clock out of here. 2 minutes left. Smith, 30 feet away from the basket, gets it to Shaver. Does Shaver have one more in his bag? Shaver for Rice. Rice is wide open. Goes right by the defender. Blocked from behind. Great play by Shoulder. He's still fighting toward the bitter end. 3-on-1 fast break. And here is Bairstow, the slam dunk. And Ashworth tried to draw a foul. Shaver's been using that off arm, and Utah State's going to be mad because Shaver's been using that off arm, and then Akin is going to be drawn for the foul. And we're going to have a look here at just exactly how bad Utah State has shot the basketball as Akin goes to the bench. And there it is, as you see on the screen.
Well, look how Utah State all season long. 43% from three today, 33%. They were 10% at halftime. Effective field goal percentage is way down. Their three-pointers not knocking down as many as they typically do. And you could see it. Shots weren't knocking down. The bench points, two of their best scorers come off the bench tonight. Just a struggle all the way around. But look, Ryan Odom, this is just a one-off. This is not going to happen the rest of the season. Boise State completely controlled them from the beginning. They did it with defense. And Ryan Odom's squad just had a hard time knocking down open looks. I'm pretty confident when these two teams play in Logan, the lid's going to come off that arena too. Student section, the herd, they're going to be all over it.
Shaver leads the game. 10 points, 2 of 7 from the floor, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Funk. Last gasp from Bairstow, who shoots and fires and can't hit. Degenhart on the rebound, and with that rebound, he's got a double-double. 19 and 10. Degenhart has been the best player on the floor for both teams all night long, as he gets the crowd into it, and they most certainly are. They're on their feet. Rice is going to go one-on-one. Fires it out for Whiting. Steps in. Rice, a three.
Everything going right for Leon Rice's squad.
To 59 here, and that one right there. There have been a series of exclamation points here thrown by Boise State. With the clock winding down, look at this.
Look at Max Rice. This beautiful kick out by Whiting.
Wide open, holds the hand up, and signals to the crowd that this is what I do. Do you not know my name?
He's been on the squad 5 years. He's been going to games in this arena for 13 when his father took over the team. And Boise State is playing the best offensive team in the Mountain West. Averages 83 points per game, but they hold teams to 59. And look what they've held Utah State to. Fantastic, dynamic, gritty defense by Boise State.
Boise State is going to improve to 12 and 4 after this, and they're going to drop Utah State to 13 and 3 overall. They're going to hand Utah State its first conference loss, and they are both going to be tied at 2 and 1 in the conference. And as we mentioned, this is a huge win for Boise State. I mean, they didn't just win; they dominated. As Funk goes to the basket and misses that one. Rebound off the backboard.
Just going to pull this out.
Yep. No more shots.
That's right. Pull this out. How about this game?
That'll do it. Boise State. Domination in convincing fashion. They knock off the pesky Utah State Aggies. They controlled this game from start to finish. And Tyson Degenhart, player of the game, 19 points, 10 rebounds. He was all over the place, Richie.
Fantastic performance by Boise State, not just on the offensive end, but the defense. What a game. Boise State trying to defend their championship title.
That's it here from Boise. Tonight's final score, 82-59. Coming up next, Big East Hoops. Butler takes on Seton Hall. For Richie Schuler, I'm Derek Clark. You've been watching College Hoops on FS1.